Hey y'all, Dekumon here, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. Last time, we have completed the 4 role quest series, and my goodness, those things are long. I keep forgetting how long those quest chains are. But it was well worth it, because we got to see all of the Warriors of Light laid to their rest and peace, and my goodness, we needed that. But we're not done. No, because there's one last mystery that needs to be solved. The tale of the 6th Warrior of Light. Shadow Walk with Me will begin and unfortunately not end this because there's actually 2 quests. I thought there was only 1, but there's actually a second. Well, if it isn't the Great Hunter himself. Oh yeah, I did kick all those out. As if you don't know, all 4 of the cardinal virtues laid low, all with your help. You're the talk of the stairs, Dekumon. When the knight returned to Lakeland, we knew in our hearts that change was on the horizon, but never did I dare hope that you might rid us of those terrible fiends. You've surpassed my wildest expectations. Hey, stop, man, that's too much. Not mind, Glenard. When I first laid eyes on him, I had an inkling that he was the hero we'd been waiting to come along. Easy to claim after the fact. If you'd indulge me though, I'd love to hear your tales of how it all played out. The hunting of the virtues, that is. Yeah, why not? I could spread some tales. I see. My word, there's so much more than I realized. And there I thought you'd only had to track down the bloody things. Gods, though, the things you learned about the Warriors of Light. So many secrets and details lost over time. And for all their hard work and sacrifice, they somehow brought about the flood. I can't say I understand it at all, but it's a bloody tragedy it is. And we should gather the others and toast their memories. Heroes of Eld, brave and true, to be remembered forevermore. Now, I'll thank you not to let your bleeding heart drive you to offer up a fortnight's stock of spirits. Attend to your other customers, and let me speak with the hero of here and now. Yeah, fine. You know what, whatever I'd do without your good sense and wisdom. Very well, I'll leave you to entertain him, but don't think we won't be having that drink someday. I suppose. Dekumon, I must thank you for sharing with us such incredible tales. It is only right that I repay you in kind. Oh? How so? With the ending, that is. With the story of the true villain who towers above the virtues, the devil more deserving of death than any yet lingers in this world. If your curiosity has been piqued, then meet with me atop the balcony overlooking the crystalline mean. I'll be waiting there until you do. The villain? Okay, now I'm curious. And of course it's raining out. Isn't that lovely? You came, as I knew you would. Never met a mystery you could leave well enough alone, or a demon that you could let live, am I right? And this demon is undeniably deserving of death, make no mistake. To cut them down would be just and proper, the act of a goodly person, and that is just what you are, I can see that. What are you talking about? Oh, no need to grow impatient or be offended, my friend. But before you pass judgment on this villain, you first need to understand their part in everything. Who they were to the fallen Warriors of Light, for instance. Of course, right about now you must be wondering how I know what I know. What a tavern wench of all people has got to do with any of this? Let me tell you then, I am the one who brought together the Virtue Hunters. I am the one who marked you as a potential ally to them and bade you join them in their quests. I alone know what had to be done, and what sort of sinner would be needed to see this tale of tragedy and betrayal brought to an end. But come, we have many realms ahead of us still. To Calusia and the Codger's Crook. I'll go on ahead and wait for you there. This test is gonna be a lot of talking, I feel. You are accustomed to life on the road, I see. As am I. I'm gonna say, that's not your usual outfit, is it? Do you recognize this place? I thought you might. Here's where it began, where Ardbert first met Limit. And you know this how?
Still young and lacking in experience, but possessed of so much potential. Heroes in the making. Even then, the Key Lion could see. They would only fulfill that promise much later, though, after joining with the other dear companions, Brandon and Renderay.
Yes?
And one other, an elven woman, not half bad with a sword. Ah, but perhaps you are already asking the question. Who? There were 5 warriors of light in all, but she would make 6. Indeed, after adding in Nilbert, there does seem to be one too many. But believe me when I say there was indeed a 6th adventurer lost to history, and her name was Silva.
Silva. I would keep calling her Silva, so we'll just stick with Silva.
Though I doubt I need convince you of this truth. When you walked in the Virtue's memories, you saw her time and time again, did you not?
Yes.
Then you saw the true villain, the traitor responsible for all their woes. Let us continue the story elsewhere, to Amarang and the Fields of Amber.
The traitor? It's interesting that, if nothing else, this is kind of laying out the Warriors of Light timeline events.
You saw the true villain's face in their memories, and I told you her name in Calusia. But what were her crimes, you ask? Hearken to my tale, and you will learn. Silva had joined the others before they first met Nilbert. After their party of 5 came to this place, they took on a commission to slay a powerful beast that had taken up residence in the mines.
Yeah, this was Nilbert's memory that we saw.
Said beast was believed to be the instigator of ever more terrible tremors, and so time was of the essence. But during their hurried search, they crossed paths with their future companion, then a competitor aiming to usurp their prize. And after another tremor triggered by the beast trapped them all underground, they had no choice but to work together to lay it low. But to their dismay, even after its death, the earth continued to shudder violently. As the adventurers looked to each other in confusion, Nilbert strode toward the beast's body and grabbed hold of a curious stone, a stone brimming with untold ether that he had sought out that he might harness its potential to rescue a loved one lost to the rift.
But he didn't. He broke it.
But so powerful was the stone that it warped the flow of the life stream. Its very existence was a threat. And so, when faced with the choice between one life and countless others, Nilbert wept and shattered the stone. He had held his comrade's salvation in his hand and cast it aside for the greater good. For his sacrifice, he was judged a hero, and in that instant a warrior of light was born. In life, Nilbert was a pragmatic figure whose wisdom and sagacity were admired by all. Little wonder that in death he would retain his virtue.
I'm still waiting for how you know all this.
There's that smirk again. But as Nilbert mourned the friend he forever lost, the betrayer Silva looked on in silent contentment, for they had taken the first step on their path towards becoming heroes brave and true. His sacrifice had sparked the transformation. 'Twas fuel for the ritual to come. What ritual, you may wonder? Fear not, all will become clear in time. Come with me to Raktika, to the City of Swamps. We must retrace the steps as they were taken to understand the depth of her treachery.
I can see where this is going. Back here for Rhonda Ray's story, I'm guessing.
This place, too, is familiar to you, no? From days recent and long since past. After the events in Omarang, Ardbert and his comrades grew in fame, spurring others to entreat their aid. The adventurers sought out greater and greater challenges, and in pursuit of another, they came to Raktika.
Yep, Rhonda Ray.
While here, the hunter Renderay learned that the notorious mark Balam Keats was near, and so, under cover of darkness, she slipped away from the others to slay the beast by herself. Like Nilbert before, of course, you already know what her motive was. Balam Keats had robbed her of her fellow hunters. Only vengeance would redress the balance. Moreover, she would not dare risk the lives of her new comrades, so terrified was she of the mere possibility that she might have to relive that terrible day. And so she faced Balam Queets alone, and would have surely died for it, had Arbut and the others not arrived in time to help. Like no but before, of course, you already know what happened next. For her love, her conviction, and her resolve was she chosen by Hydaelyn. And from that day forward, Brenda Ray swore never again to betray her comrades' trust, to share with them the triumphs and the tragedies, to relinquish the freedom she had once held in the highest. The bravest, most courageous hunter that ever was, that moment would define what she became in life and in death.
Yeah, that it kind of did.
Her sacrifice would hasten the transformation. 'Twas fuel for the ritual to come. The betrayer Silva looked on, yet more satisfied. They were oblivious to her machinations, unaware that they were dancing to her tune. Their journeys continued, and so must ours, to Ilmeg and Ligia.
For Brandon's story. Hope Fate Wool doesn't mind us doing a little storytelling on his doorstep. What am I saying? He's probably listening the whole time, enjoying the heck out of the story.
As beautiful now as it was then. You saw it too, would you not agree? With the death of Balam Queets, the legend of Ardbert and his comrades had grown larger than ever. Thus emboldened, they came to the kingdom of Vobert. Vobert had long been troubled by what some had dubbed a magical plague, innocents found transformed into misshapen fiends that the kingdom's knights had no choice but to put down ere the contagion spread.
Except it wasn't a contagion, it was the dang archmage of theirs.
Brandon had been one such knight. In his youth, he had served the Princess Soldia faithfully, only to be cast out for a single mistake. Thus did he take to the road, where he met Ardbert and the others. Having grown stronger and wiser and more respected, Brandon felt it was time to return and redeem himself, and with the aid of his comrades, he did just that. Tadric, the court mage, was unmasked as the mastermind of Vobert's misery, and by disgraced knight's blade was he brought to justice. But with his dying breath, Tadric cursed the Princess Soldia, sentencing her to a fate worse than death. At her behest did he raise up his blade, and for the sake of the kingdom strike down his liege lady. With that single stroke he forever changed, though not nearly in the way that was necessary. He stood at the precipice and almost forsook his compassion for unflinching judgment, but mercifully turned aside at the last. Thus did he find and embrace true justice, that which weighs law and heart together and strives for the greater good. 'Tis a long, difficult road, from which many stray, settling for simpler moralities, but I would expect no less of the man who became Dakayasign.
My character is super sus right now here.
His sacrifice would strengthen the transformation. 'Twas fuel for the ritual to come. As her companions grew ever more powerful, so too did the betrayer Silva. Bit by bit, they brought her closer to her goal. But it was not yet finished. To Calusia they returned, and so must we. Tombra, and the next chapter of our tale await.
For Limits. This is getting very suspect. Still gotta love the dwarves.
Slowly but surely, the adventurers were fulfilling their potential. Word of their deeds in Vobert spread like wildfire, and their legend grew ever larger. But for all the success, the fledgling heroes would be forced to endure more hardship and welcome more sacrifice.
Like Limit here.
They pressed deeper into the depths of Raktika, toward ancient Ronka. 'Twas there the dwarf Limit came to a crossroads, for in claiming the magic she desperately desired, she would be forced to renounce something equally precious. Dwarves are a reclusive lot, want to withdraw from the outside world that their many traditions might be preserved in isolation. When the stone blight began to spread, they chose to lock away the afflicted and refused to seek outside help.
And for that, she got banished, all to save her sister.
But Lamit would not abide this. She vowed to save her ailing kin, her sister among them, even if it meant violating dwarven law. With her newfound power, she returned and cured the sick, and for this she was banished by the Council of Elders. This came as no surprise, for she had made her peace with it long before. When she stood in that ancient ruin and called upon forgotten guardians to grant her forbidden knowledge, she knew then what the price would be. She had weighed her traditions and identity against the lives of those she loved and made her choice, though it pained her terribly and in ways only a dwarf could understand, and Heidelin it would seem. Through hardship and sacrifice was a new warrior of light forged, a healer that knew more than in any value of a life, and would do anything to see it preserved, even in death. Her sacrifice would very nearly complete the transformation, 'twas fuel for the ritual to come. Very soon then, very soon. For Ardbert and his comrades had stumbled upon evidence of the larger design, threads linking together the disparate troubles of the realm. A name spoken only in whispers, the Shadowkeeper, a singular force sowing chaos and discord throughout Novrand to an unknown end. If the Warriors of Light truly wished to save their world, then they would need to confront this villain amongst villains. And at the end of their exhaustive search, at the end of their struggle, who do you think they found waiting to welcome them with open arms?
Silva, right?
The answer to that awaits us in Lakeland, our final destination. The villain yet walks among us, Dekumon, unknown and unpunished. Go on ahead and wait for me at Laxian Loft. There are preparations to which I must first attend.
Oh, I'm gonna be there first this time, huh? And isn't it fitting we're going to be doing this at the dead of night? Is that an Ascian cloak? No, it's not. Oh. Okay, I love the armor, first off. But, yeah, that's a little terrifying there. Uh-oh, it's echo time! We're gonna see, yeah, we're gonna see the moment she fully discloses her betrayal.
Damn you, Silva! We were comrades in arms! Friends! That we were, and that we are. Everything I said, everything I felt, it was all true. You mean the world to me. You're the bloody Shadowkeeper! What in the hells was this for? For you, for every one of you, to forge you into heroes worthy of her blessing, that she might choose you as her champions. A ruthless mage consumed by the pursuit of power to save his friend no matter the cost, by his sacrifice a warrior born. A mournful hunter, scarred by tragedy, resolved never again to trust in others, by her sacrifice a warrior born.
Gonna skip over Ardbert here.
A disgraced knight who yearned to steal his heart in justice's name, by his sacrifice a warrior born. A troubled healer torn between tradition and love, by her sacrifice a warrior born. And you. And their leader, an adventurer with a heart overflowing with love for his dearest comrades, who must now bring his axe to bear against his own. By his sacrifice, a warrior born. I am the villain you seek, the keeper of shadows from a world shrouded in dark. By our struggle will this world be shattered and its soul saved. Silva!
I can't do a proper roar, it's the middle of the morning, I'm sorry. So it's true. She's the Shadowkeeper. Doesn't say why, though. You're just working for the Ascians? I'm waiting.
Saw it all, did you? I thought you might. Mother's Gift has a knack for showing us exactly what we need to see, if not what we want to or when.
Yeah, I know the when part being a problem.
They knew me as Silva, but my real name, it doesn't matter. Like you, I am not of this world. I crossed the rift and came to the first. My home, the 13th, fell to dark in a calamity that mirrored the one which nearly claimed this world. I was one of several heroes who failed to save it.
What? You're from the Void? The 13th that turned into the world of darkness and became all the Void sent? Damn. You did exactly what the Warriors of Light did for the Source, didn't you?
The boy, Unukalai, I have glimpsed in your memories. He was a friend. Like him, I heeded the words of the Ascians, and that I might redress the balance, I chose to come here and hasten a rejoining of worlds.
Oh.
A shard subsumed by dark demands a mirror of blinding light. Primordial forces will strive to achieve equilibrium. But there was a solution, a single solution I believed. Were a flood of light to consume this shard in its entirety, it would be of no use. The Ascians made it clear it must be brought to the brink, but no further. The task was difficult, but the plan simple. Souls predisposed to light, fledgling heroes in the making, I would bring together Ardbert and his comrades and groom them for a higher purpose. I would play the part of comrade and guide their course, all the while laboring in secret to pit stronger and stronger enemies against them, until finally, once they were warriors of light brave and true, I would reveal myself as a warrior of darkness and extinguish their radiance forever. Thus would this world be primed for a rejoining and the source for a calamity. The Ascians who called themselves Mitron and Longrief were confident it would succeed, and indeed Ardbert and the others rose to the occasion, as I knew they would.
There were 2 Ascians here. I thought it was just Longrief.
But it was not to be. I had misjudged Ardbert. His comrades before him had made their sacrifices in turn, and as their mirror I had grown stronger for it. Had he but embraced his role and struck me down, victory would have been mine. But Ardbert, dear Ardbert, would not forsake his heart. In the end, he chose mercy. He chose love, and I was undone.
Yeah, that sounds like Ardbert.
The rest you know. He sought out Mitron and Longrief and granted them what he refused me. They accomplished everything they set out to achieve, and then the flood came and washed it away. In the wake of my betrayal, I would look on from the shadows and reflect on my many sins as all fell to ruin, denied death then and now, and perhaps ever after, as a fragment of my essence endures. But then, one day years ago, my fallen comrades rose again as the cardinal virtues. It coincided with the arrival of the first scions, I later realized, a defense against the forces being marshaled to undo my failure. I can but assume the Ascians planted the idea in Vorthri's head. They were his creations after all.
Oh, son of a bitch. Vorthri made the virtues? Oh, god dang it. It just makes me want to hate this guy even more.
And with their graves in Yomoran territory, it was doubtless a simple matter to have their bodies exhumed and prepared. Who am I to speak, you may think when I say this, but when I saw these abominations he had wrought in their image, I was filled with such despair, such anger. I cannot unwrite the past. My soul is stained with blackest sin, and I will not pretend that it can ever be otherwise. But this act, this I could not ignore. If the Ascians were going to such lengths, then surely others would cross the rift in due time, and so I hatched a plan. I would assume the guise of Ciela, and as her take up residence in the Crystarium, where I would take measures to bring together the most ambitious of adventurers, individuals driven by more than mere coin, virtue hunters. That way, when the enemy the Ascians feared more than any came to the first, the stage would be set. They would join in the hunter's quest, and together unmake Vorthri's simulacra and lay their souls to rest once more. And so you did, Dekumon. The virtues are no more, but the one ultimately responsible for the creation, the devil who set them on their doomed path, lingers still. You know all there is to know of the heroes who saved this world. The truth I kept hidden in that shadow is yours, and there are no more secrets to share. And so, I ask you now to grant me that which Ardbert could not. Death.
You still have a duty to others. Nope, sorry. You're gonna be serving this sentence.
No, don't do this. Don't you spare me like he did. How can you stand there and say I deserve to live, knowing everything I did, the lives I destroyed, the chaos I wrought? The Warden's pale in comparison. Surely there is no greater villain than the Shadowkeeper.
Which is why you must live to atone for your deeds. Death is no comfort to the living, no. Death is the easy way out. You want to atone, live, and work for it.
I should have expected a hero would say something like that. How does one even seek atonement? It is an undiscovered country with no charts or stars to guide. How will I even know when I find it?
I have a feeling you'll know.
Perhaps I may yet find purpose in preserving my comrade's legacy, in helping others to understand the sacrifices that made them true heroes. For now, I shall return to the Crystarium and continue to assist Glenard while spreading the forgotten tales of the Warriors of Light. You would have been good friends, you and Ardbert, in another life.
You have no idea how right you are.
Maybe you and I as well.
Well.
I tell you, I'm not at all accustomed to wearing armor any longer. Simply moving about in it is enough to tax my strength. And fighting? Ugh. Any one of Captain Linus' recruits could probably put me flat on my back. Fortunately, I needn't rely on my sword to spread the truth of my fallen comrades' deeds. Only words and the passage of time will see their legacy redeemed in the eyes of the people. Thank you for accompanying me on my journey of remembrance, Dekumon. May your deeds ever be remembered and celebrated, as all heroes deserve.
My goodness. So the truth is out. Scylla here was Silva, the Warrior of Darkness, the Shadowkeeper, and a resident of the 13th. Damn. Who would have expected that? And there's still one more quest to go. Safekeeping. And I have a feeling this quest should have been called Passing the Torch, but hey, we'll take what we get.
If it isn't Dekumon, loitering about the stairs just like any old evening. And here I was worried that you had gone back to your world for good, and I was too late.
Yeah, this actually takes place much later in the timeline, but we'll forgive that for now. I feel like it slots in here just okay.
It's just that I've been thinking about the crystals belonging to the Warriors of Light. I hear they ended up with you, after you defeated the Virtues. I assume you have Ardbert's as well.
Actually, I think I do have Ardbert's.
Indeed, that does seem appropriate. His bond with Seto is deep and enduring.
Ah, right.
As for the others, I had hoped you might be persuaded to leave them in my care.
Why?
It was only right that they, like Ardbert, should accompany you on your journey to set this world back on its proper course. Yet you now have a home you must return to, while the first is theirs. After all they did to keep it safe, they deserve to be here to see what its future holds.
Ah, and that title banner now suddenly makes sense.
Oh, don't make that face. I know it's a big decision, but it needn't fall entirely to you. There are others here who care for the Warriors of Light as much as you do, aren't there?
I see one behind you, actually. Still chugging ale, as always. And wouldn't you know it, she's the first one we get to talk to.
Now that's some damn fine ale. How many should I order for you? I know you ain't much of a drinker, so 6, 7 dozen? What? You want help deciding the fate of Limit's crystal? And the others too? Does this place have any bigger tankards? Well, if you insist. Ludwigos be drinks, plural, so I'll make sure he joins us. Maybe find Grandson while I'm at it. You go on ahead and wait with Sarah Container. Order around when I'm out, you hear?
Around, huh? My goodness, yep. We're gonna be passing the crystals on to the Virtue Hunters, it seems like.
Good to see you, Dekumon. What say you that Gyalt is so worked up?
You guys are gonna be the new Warriors of Light around here, I think.
The crystals, eh? That does sound like a conversation worth getting everyone together for. Did Ludwig really promise to pay for Gyalt's drinks? That's a disaster in the making. Well, not just hers, rounds for the lot of us. Might be that the lad yet has a few things to learn about coin and the scarcity thereof. Still, I'll not turn down his generosity. Go and tell the barkeep we'll be needing food and ale for the table. Fine, but please try to exercise some restraint. I'm not carrying you back to the room again.
I'll bet that would have been a hell of a sight to see. This little kid dragging this big old lug back to the hotels. Hail, hail, the gang's all here.
Here we are. How much of a head start did you get? Should I ask him to bring out the cask?
The cask? Oh, good lord.
I reckon we should hear Dekumon out first.
Alright, here's the long and short of it. You guys are the new Warriors of Light around here. Or at least if nothing else, I'm leaving the crystals in your care. You'll get to be Warriors of Light eventually.
So,
Oh, sorry.
you're telling me that the barmaid was one of Nilbert's companions, not to mention the Shadowkeeper, and from a different world? Well, that's laying on a bit thick.
Eh.
It certainly raises questions.
Well, quite. Such as how she retains a youthful visage. Oh, I wonder if I could buy that off of her. Not that.
I had my suspicions about her. The other night I was at the counter, quaffing my ale, having a grand time, and next I realize I'm outside without a guild to my name. And it ain't the first time. It could only be the power of the Shadowkeeper. And not that you drink enough for a small army.
If Dekumon says it's true, I'm inclined to believe it. Which leaves us with the matter of entrusting the crystals to her. Oh right, she wants the crystals. I think she's giving them to you, to be honest.
She's right that this was Brandon's home. The others too. And it's home to the most important memories. Not all of them good maybe, but everyone they loved is laid to rest here. I agree. Nilbert belongs here. Ardbet's crystal is Rossetto in this world. The myth would want to be near.
Brenda Ray as well, I think. She'd want to be with her friends in the place that she loved. Sounds like we come to an agreement.
It seems we all agree.
What, 2 nods back to back, seriously?
A toast then to the Warriors of Light.
Oh dear. To the Warriors of Light. Drink up. I'm paying, and as bounty hunters, I expect you all to take proper advantage of that.
I hate to disappoint, but I'm not much for alcohol. The juice looks nice, though.
Yeah, I'm kind of in his boat. Not a big alcohol drinker myself.
Ah, that's not...
Uh-oh. Yeah, that was the absinthe. Oh dear. I feel like I'm back at a Hildebrand storyline.
So, how did you manage this? Twice the mess and half the time as normal patrons, I swear. I overheard your conversation, by the way. Do you agree with your friends?
These crystals are yours, Storykeeper. They would know best. The crystals are yours. Though I suspect you'll be handing them to them soon enough.
Their legacies are safe with me, you have my word.
There they are. Shouldn't there be a sixth? Did you have the sixth?
Thank you.
Huh?
I can feel them. Their memories.
I think you may have just found that atonement you were looking for.
Why? Why, damn it? You're all just like Advert. I betrayed you, I manipulated you, and still... You thought of me as a comrade, a friend, until the very end.
That was a nice way to end this. I guess she's gonna hold on to them for the time being.
Well, we finally managed to clean up after you lot, for the most part. Perhaps next time we should set out to Tarpaulin. Nevertheless, I'm grateful to you for entrusting these to me, and as long as I live, I will never stop sharing the true tale of the Warriors of Light, of my friends.
Oh. Budokai's next to her. Alright, that's for a separate quest line that we will touch on later. And by later, I mean significantly later. But that is going to be it for today. A little bit of a shorter one, but I kind of feel like I needed it after all the super long episodes we had. So, if you've enjoyed this, please leave a like and favorite, and subscribe to join me for more adventures in Novrant. And as always, I'll see you in the next video, where I'll be taking on a new job and some new dungeons.